Have you ever noticed how the more you learn about something, the less you seem to understand it? I used to think wisdom meant having all the answers. Collecting degrees, reading every book, following every expert. I filled my mind like a storage unit, cramming in theories and concepts and other people's insights until there was no room left for anything else. And then something interesting happened. The more I knew, the more confused I became. The more information I gathered, the less clarity I had. I was like someone trying to drink from a fire hose, drowning in knowledge but dying of thirst for real understanding. Maybe you know this feeling too. You've read all the self-help books but still struggle with the same patterns. You've taken courses and workshops, but nothing seems to stick. You can explain complex ideas to others, but somehow can't apply them to your own life. Here's what I discovered. Knowledge and wisdom are not the same thing. Knowledge fills your cup. Wisdom empties it. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a therapist I know. Brilliant woman, advanced degrees, years of training. She could diagnose anyone within minutes and had treatment plans memorized for every condition. But she was miserable. One day, sitting across from a client who wasn't responding to any of her expert interventions, she realized something. She had become so focused on what she knew that she'd stopped listening to what was actually happening. She was treating her theories instead of treating the person in front of her. That's when she decided to try something radical. She emptied her cup. Instead of going into sessions with a full arsenal of techniques and diagnoses, she started going in curious, open, ready to be surprised. Open, ready to be surprised. She began each conversation with genuine not knowing. What will I discover today? What might this person teach me? Everything changed. Her clients started opening up in ways they never had before. Breakthroughs happened naturally. Her work became alive again instead of mechanical. She didn't lose her expertise. She just stopped letting it block her from seeing what was really there. This is the paradox of true learning. The more certain you become, the less you're able to learn. The more expert you feel, the fewer possibilities you can see. Think about when you were a child. Everything was new. Every day brought discoveries. You asked questions about everything because you knew you didn't know. That curiosity, that openness, that willingness to be wrong, that's not something you outgrow. That's something you train yourself out of. We're taught that not knowing means we're failing, that uncertainty is weakness, that having answers makes us valuable. But what if the opposite were true? But what if the opposite were true? What if not knowing is actually your superpower? When you approach a conversation without already deciding what the other person will say, you might actually hear them. When you read something without filtering it through everything you already believe, you might learn something that changes everything. When you face a problem without assuming you know what it is, you might discover solutions you never considered. This doesn't mean throwing away everything you've learned. It means holding it lightly. Your knowledge becomes a tool you can pick up when it's useful, rather than a lens you can never remove. Your experience becomes wisdom you can share, rather than a prison that limits what you can see. Your expertise becomes a foundation you can build on, rather than a ceiling that stops your growth. I know this can feel scary. We live in a world that rewards certainty, that celebrates experts, that makes you feel stupid for saying I don't know. But here's what I've learned. The smartest people I know are the ones most comfortable with not knowing. They're curious instead of certain. They ask questions instead of giving lectures. They listen more than they speak. They understand that every conversation is a chance to learn something new. Every challenge is an opportunity to see from a fresh perspective. Every day is a chance to be surprised by what they discover. Tonight, as you let yourself rest, try this. Instead of reviewing everything you know, everything you need to figure out, everything you should understand by now, just be curious? What if you don't need to have it all figured out? What if not knowing is exactly where you're supposed to be? What if your willingness to remain open, to stay curious, to keep learning is actually your greatest strength? Feel how that creates space in your mind, how it relaxes something in your chest. This is what an empty cup feels like.